and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a little book haul for you guys, just all of the books that I have collected the past couple of weeks. I wasn't able to film a reading vlog this weekend because I was doing a gala for a nonprofit. That took up all of my week, but I was able to go book shopping. And I have a couple things to show you. Let's look at what I bought. I have a couple of other books that I've gotten that I just haven't shown you all, and so I figured why not let you all enable my book buying habit, you know? So the first book that I got is The Fractured Dark by Megan E. O'Keefe. I read an arc of this just about a week or so ago. Really enjoyed this. This is the second book in the Devoured World series by her. This book has a great flop. Look at that, it's a good flop. This book was really good. It was a really good follow-up to the first book. I did not enjoy it as much as I liked the first book, but I still really enjoyed this one. This one felt like the first book had some real creepy elements to it, as this is a world where death has pretty much been eradicated because human beings are able to like kind of download their consciousness and then re-upload it into a new print of their body. So you can like have your body reprinted, you can fix things, that kind of thing. So in the first book, it was really creepy because the printing machine on the world that they were on was doing misprints for some reason. They were trying to figure out why. And the misprints were sort of zombie-esque. They were real creepy. And in this book, it wasn't misprinting, but the characters could not catch a break. The characters went through it. And there were so many times where I was like, how are they going to get themselves out of this? And they always did. The ending was a little bit of a cliffhanger. I am very excited for the third book in this series. And I'm also really excited to read more books by Megan E. O'Keefe. I have a copy of Velocity Weapon, which is her another trilogy that is completed that I would like to read soon, but I have a never-ending TBR, so we'll see when I actually get to that. The next book is one that I bought on a whim. I saw it and I saw on the back, no, there's a blurb on the front from Publishers Weekly that says, "This prose mashup of National Treasure and Indiana Jones is a fun escapist fare." I love National Treasure. I love the National Treasure movies. Nick Cage, perfect in those movies. I don't know what it is about that. I love National Treasure. I also really enjoy Indiana Jones, but I haven't seen very much Indiana Jones. And so when I saw that blurb, I knew I had to get a copy of this book. This is called The Enigma Affair. This, and it's signed by the author. I got this at Bookmarks. This is about a small town librarian who comes under fire while making profiteroles, which is a type of food, and I'm not 100% sure what kind of food it is, but it is a food. She has no choice but to trust a mysterious assassin named Nemo, who just randomly showed up in her kitchen, fleeing a pair of German thugs. And the two form an unlikely alliance. When I saw National Treasure, Indiana Jones, and then two people forming an unlikely alliance, I was like, this is it. This is the book for me. I have to have a copy of this. And so I bought it. And you want to know what else is weird? This book, it's not that big, right? A little over 300 pages, like 330 pages-ish. It is very heavy. Like, this is a heavy book for some reason. I don't know why. It probably weighs like 3 pounds. I don't know what the deal is. The paper is thick. Like, it's really thick paper. It feels, I don't know, it's thick paper. Anyways, so I am really excited to check this out. When will I get to this again? I don't know. A book that I have purchased and already read because it's perfect for this time of year. I really enjoy this author. I've read two of her other books this year. I read one last year. I got a copy of Black Sheep by Rachel Harrison. This one was Okay, this one was really good, and there were also some parts of it where I was like, what, really? Which I've not had that experience before with Rachel Harrison. So Rachel Harrison's books are, the two of her books that I have read I would call like cozy thriller, cozy horror. It wasn't grotesque or anything. It wasn't too scary. And all of her books sort of have a feminist take, a feminist moral, if you will. And I haven't been able to quite pick up what the feminist moral is in those two books. The Return that I read just a couple weeks ago, that one was a little bit more thriller. I think it also had a moral, a feminist moral, but I wasn't quite sure what it was. This one, I picked up on what this one was. So this one is about Vesper. She is estranged from her family because they are a religious cult. She grew up in a religious cult. And she gets a mysterious invite to her cousin's wedding. And she decides to go back to her cult family so that she can go to this wedding. And things get real wild. So the moral of this book is that it's about your parents. Like it's about, you know, yes, you are made of both of your parents, but they are not you, and you are not beholden to them, and that kind of thing. It was really, this was really good. Now, I had a couple problems with this. There was a couple times, and I can't remember like off the top of my head exactly what they were, but there were a couple times where something happened and it was just like, well, that's really convenient, and it sort of took me out of the story just a little bit. The other thing about this one that's different from her other books that I have read is that the main character in this one is kind of unlikable. It explains why, sort of, but she is pretty unlikable, which I don't mind. I can get down with an unlikable main character. There's a reason she's unlikable. But I did really enjoy this, and I also love this cover. I love this with the sheep and the blood and this is good. But I enjoyed this. This was a good Halloween spooky read. Okay, so I have been reading Cruel Prince series by Holly Black. I went ahead and got the next two books. I have finished The Wicked King. I finished that a couple weeks ago as well. I enjoyed this. I am very excited to read The Queen of Nothing. I should be getting my Libby hold for this pretty soon, although I have a physical copy now, so I could just read it. But I really like the audiobooks. The audiobooks for this are good. So I am very excited to have a copy of both of these. I want the black Barnes & Noble exclusive edition hardbacks, but you want to know what? People are selling those online for like hundreds of dollars, and that is outrageous. So I will take my pretty good flop paperbacks, and I'll be happy with it until I can find what I want, probably at McKay's, because I find everything at McKay's. So I'm very excited to have the last two books in the Cruel Prince trilogy, and once I get done with these, I will, depending on how the third book goes. If the third book is trash, probably not, but I am excited to read the spin-off series that she wrote recently, that Holly Black wrote recently. I think it's called The Stolen Heir. I don't know if it's one book or if it's going to be multiple. I'm not really sure how that's going to go, but at least one book is out right now. And my last brand new book, one more book for this haul, but it is used. I got it at McKay's. So this one is new. This one just came out. This is Never Whistle at Night. I got an ARC of this, and it was so good. It is a Indigenous dark fiction anthology. It's a bunch of short stories. As a foreword by Stephen Graham Jones. It was edited by Shane Hawk, who I really enjoy. This was very good. Another really great spooky Halloween read. And this cover is absolutely spectacular. The bright colors, the artwork. This is amazing. Decent flop. Decent flop. It was in hardback, but that's fine. This has stories by two authors that I was really excited to read. Darcy Little Badger, I read one of her other books earlier this year, and the other, there's one by Shane Hawk in here, and then the other is by Tiffany Morris. Shane Hawk, I read Anoka, his collection of short stories. Tiffany Morris, I recently read Green Fuse Burning by them. That's coming out this month, so I'll have that in a couple weeks. Anyway, so I am very excited to have a copy of this. This was excellent, and I highly recommend you check it out. Okay, and my last book. I saw this in McKay's. 1, it's a hardback. 2, it's a first edition. And 3, I have another book This has somebody's personal library book stamp in it, and I have another one of their books. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, well, I have to have it. So I opened it up and it has this stamp in it, which happens to be the same stamp that's in my signed first edition of Oathbringer by Brandon Sanderson that I got. This is, and I just thought that was such a fun coincidence. I was like, well, I have to buy this book, and it was only $5. So this is The House on Vesper Sands. This is like a gothic, you know, 1880s, 1890s London mystery story. It's a Victorian inspired mystery. A seamstress who jumps from a window. Anyways, this is one I've been wanting to read for a while, but I just keep putting it off. And now I have a physical copy, and it was only $5. And I got this from McKay's. It's in really great shape. So I don't know what Caleb Masters is doing with his library, but he and I have the same taste in books. So if you're out there, we need to be friends. Anyways, that was my book haul. About a month worth of book buying and things like that I have not shared. So thanks for watching. Go buy some books. What have you bought recently? I would love to know. Please comment, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.